Hello and welcome to Henry A. Wise High School in Upper Marlboro, Maryland for the Girls County Basketball Championship games between the Henry Wise Pumas and the Gwynn Park Yellow Jackets. I'm Daniel Abraham alongside Chad Morton. Damon Gibson will be joining us shortly. And Chad, these are two teams that are very talented. Gwynn Park scored 89 points less than a month ago in a game against Friendly. Meanwhile, Wise averaging almost a 30-point margin of victory in the 4A this year. Something's got to give.
Two incredible teams. Let's take a look at Gwynn Park, 20-2 overall, 17-1 in the league. But how about Dr. Henry Wise, 20-1 overall, 18-0 in the league? Do I need to say any more? If the answer is no, well, I'm going to keep talking. Two powerhouses going at it today. We got an exciting game.
All right, well, let's take a look at the 411 Verizon keys to the game, and we'll take a look at the Wise Pumas for first set of keys. And obviously for Wise, they want to have a lot of fun and stay injury-free. Obviously, there's a lot more to go and gain from this game other than just a win.
Well, the coach emphasized today that he doesn't want any players to get hurt. He wants them to have some fun. But as I said to you off camera, they hear the music, they gonna dance. This is the county championship. You got a live crowd. All the marbles for the county are on the table right now. These girls want it, and they're going to go after it.
And you talked about the girls wanting it, but obviously the bigger thing they want is the state title, and that's the second key to the game, is to stay focused, get better in this game, and improve, because win or lose, the season continues after this for both of these teams.
Right, win or lose, the season continues, but there's going to be some tears on the losing end for the losers tonight. This is a big game. Think of it like the ACC tournament before you're heading out to the NCAAs. You really want to win it.
There you go. Well, I'll tell you what, Gwynn Park, they have some different keys. They seem more into about this game as opposed to the future games. They talked about keeping up the tempo and getting the game really, really high pace. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, when we talked to the coach earlier on, he emphasized that they definitely want to win. They're going to run and they're going to press. Now, don't forget, Dr. Henry Wise, they like to run the ball also, but they're not necessarily going to press. Look for that pressure defense from the Yellow Jackets today as they try to disrupt the run and gun game for the Henry Wise Pumas.
And then the other key, obviously, for Gwynn Park is going to be the senior leadership. They have some senior guards that really are looking to step up and take advantage of some big opportunities in this game, really make a name for themselves.
Yeah, Kristen Brown and Tiana Hall, two seniors that the Yellow Jackets are going to be counting on to run this offense today. But it all begins with the Genesis, and that's Genesis Lucas, averaging 15.5 points per game. Look out for her today.
All right, well, we'll be right back with the opening tip-off. You're watching the Prince George's County Championship Games here on FiOS Channel 1. Welcome back to the county championship games here today at Wise High School, and we're going to go to our sideline reporter right now, and Damon Gibson. What do you got for us, Damon?
Thanks, guys. This is a game that every high school athlete dreams of getting to, the county championship, and the Wise Pumas are not familiar with this stage. Speaking with Coach Clark earlier today, he says he looks to just pretty much ride the two Pumas that got him here, Khadijah Gibson and Elijah Brooks. Elijah comes in scoring a total of 369 points this game. But my X factor for the Pumas is Miss Sierra Lee. Nobody does it like Sierra Lee, with a total of 66 blocks. So I think she's going to have a block party tonight. And on the other side for Gwynn Park, they feel real confident in coming into tonight's game. He gives a lot of respect to Coach Clark. He says he just wants to win. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Damon. And 66 blocks. You like block parties there, don't you,
Hey,
Chad?
let me tell you something, Damon. Don't get that block party started without yours truly right here. I got the grape sodas and hot dogs in the car. We can get the block party started.
There we go. Well, looks like Gwynn Park is going to get the ball first after had a violation on the tap. Brown now has it on the wing, and she's going to drive it, put up the shot. Nice rebound, nice putback, and lays it up and in, and that's Freeland, Ashanti Freeland, laying the ball in.
Freeland cleaning the glass up, snatched that rebound without much competition. And I tell you, early on, we really saw Gwynn Park really excited to get the game started, following the mantra of their coaches, as the head coach from Wise mentioned, that they weren't really taking this game too serious.
Exactly, so here we got a tie-up and a jump ball, and obviously that's going to go to the Pumas. And yeah, you're absolutely right. And normally when you see something like that, you see the team that's taking the game a little more seriously at first come out and jump out early, kind of like Gwynn Park just did. And we'll see if Wise can respond.
Yeah, I think Wise is going to respond. It won't take them but a minute to get up to the dance here tonight.
Shots off the glass, no good, and that was Sierra Lee. And now here comes Gwynn Park. Shot no good, rebounded by Lee. And here back come the Pumas.
Khadijah Gibson, talked about her early on, averaging 16 points per game for the Pumas. What a move.
There's the nice drive, a nice shot. Unable to get it to go was Aliqua Brooks, but here comes Gwynn Park again, and man, are they running as they get out early and get the quick layup. There's Tiana Hall finishing on the inside, and wow, I know when I talked to the Gwynn Park head coach, Coach Strother, a little bit earlier, he told me, hey, I hope you got your bins because we're going to get rolling as soon as this game starts, and he was not kidding. As they got off to the break, every time they've touched the ball, they've been off to the races.
And I'm waiting to see that press from the Yellow Jackets that coach said he was going to unleash. Coach Michael Strother said look out for that press and that it's coming.
As Lee was off the mark with her jumper, and Gwynn Park pushing the ball up the floor again. This time I believe it was a shot, not 100% sure, but a nice steal here by Kosi, and now Kosi gets it stolen away herself and out of bounds, but it'll stay to Wise.
There was Kosi with that steal.
Oh no, they're saying it's going to go over to Gwynn Park. It looked like it went off Gwynn Park, but you know they're going to say it was off Kosi's leg.
And Kosi not too happy with that call, but getting back, picking up her man-to-man defense here.
There you go. Another shot goes off the mark for Gwynn Park, and that was Tiana Hall, unable to get it to go, and back come the Pumas. A nice little short jumper, and that was a good pull-up, but unable to get it to fall down was Kosi, the sophomore guard. And we've got a turnover there as Christian Brown was trying to get to the basket.
That's the second time we saw Christian Brown travel coast to coast, try to dish it off at the end the first time. The second time, she's going to try to go all the way herself. Doesn't want to pass that ball. Who she trusts? She trusts me.
Well, she went up there. There was a little contact, but unable to get it to go as Gwynn Park leads this thing 4-0. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back. You're watching Verizon Fios 1. Welcome back to Henry A. Wise High School for this county championship game as the Gwynn Park Yellow Jackets have jumped out early to a 4-0 lead with 5:42 to go here in the first quarter as here come the Pumas.
Look at Genesis Lucas pick up little Cece at the top of the key. Still waiting to see that press, though.
Yep, it's Candace Ross who's checked into the game, and now there's the young sophomore throwing the ball away, and Kosi, little Cece, but the good thing about Kosi is she takes a lot of pressure off her Khadijah Gibson and Aliqua Brooks at that point guard spot. They don't have to bring the ball up the floor when she's in the game. And a long, deep three knocked down by Genesis Lucas, and that is now 7-0 Gwynn Park.
And you got to remember now, Dr. Henry Wise, 20-0 in the league. They haven't lost a game since December of last year. They're very confident. They may fall behind, but I don't think they'll panic.
Exactly. They've had a couple of close calls in PG County, 2 really close games against Bowie High School. And right on cue, it's Khadijah Gibson knocking down the three-pointer and clapping her hands on defense. And a quick turnover for Wise. And how quickly can a game change off of one long jumper and a quick turnover just like that?
Absolutely. And the coach talked about some senior leadership, and Khadijah Gibson, the senior, averaging 16 points per game this year, able to quiet the crowd and stop that run by Gwynn Park with a nice outside jumper of her own.
Gwynn Park extending their man-to-man defense, picking up before half court, but the lob inside to Lee, and she gets it to go. And Sierra Lee, they talked about her shot blocking ability, but that was a really nifty post move down there, Chad.
And let's not forget that she's averaging a double-double, 10 points and 10 rebounds per game.
And there's another rebound, a great outlet pass to Gibson, and Gibson goes up for the layup, unable to get it to go, but a nice steal, puts up the shot and got it to go was Candace Ross. And a great play there by Candace Ross, and she's one of those sneaky players that can really pick up a lot of points when you're not even paying attention.
And you know, Daniel, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm very impressed at the level of play. Both of these teams, they play and execute exceptionally well. They're both in for long runs when we get to the state tournament.
And I guess the most interesting part is how they both get good shots. We haven't seen anyone take a really bad shot or force anything up. A lot of their shots have been clean, good looks at the basket, where they've just been able to get it to go. And a lot of times it's on the break as well.
And one more thing, we got to compliment the head coaches of both of these teams. They played their game. They're not into the hype. You see them executing their plays, executing their offense. One of the keys that Coach Michael Strother said for Gwynn Park, he said, we want to play our game. Well, so far, you're playing a good game.
Yep, as it's 8-6 now, Gwynn Park with the advantage, and Coach Clark and Coach Strother go way back. They've been playing against each other and coaching against each other for the last 12 years, dating all the way back to when Coach Strother was at Potomac playing against Coach Clark here. So should be a really interesting matchup here for coaches-wise in terms of the X's and O's, but these two teams obviously not short of talent either.
Absolutely, and it might have just been just a little fluffing from Coach Walter Clark when he was saying, oh, we're not interested in winning this game. Coach Thompson from old Georgetown used to say that's fattening frogs for snakes.
Well, I tell you what, one of the keys that Coach Clark was talking about before this game was limiting the turnovers, and right now Gwynn Park not really putting a lot of pressure, not trapping, and yet we've seen several unforced turnovers early on by the Pumas.
And there's another one.
Yeah, well, they're able to get it back this time. As here they come, keeping balance. Oh, but they say she stepped out of bounds. That was number 24, Aliqua Brooks, who stepped out of bounds, but still. Actually playing point guard now for the Pumas. Looks like number 2 has checked in. Up, but the ball's up ahead. We'll get back to that in a second. It's Cece who kicks it out to the side. Driving the lane, up for the shot, no good. And looks like they blew a whistle. Was it inadvertent? Are they calling a foul? They're going to say it was an inadvertent whistle. I think she wanted to call a foul on Aliqua Brooks, but I don't think she was able to get all the way there to do it.
Aliqua Brooks got real aggressive after that missed layup. Great move to get to the basket, just unable to convert. Might be a bit of nerves. We're still in the first period here. Big county championship game.
There you go. One thing they always talk about is when you make a mistake, you don't want to compound it with another mistake, and she nearly did, picking up the foul there as here comes the Pumas again, pushing the ball up the floor. However, the pass is nearly picked and is intercepted, and now we've got a back-and-forth, fast-paced game as there has been no walking the ball up the court here in this contest as Genesis Lucas kicks it over to the wing. Ball up top. And that's Christian Brown who kicks it over to the corner. And it looks like we've got a 3-second call. I believe they're going to call that one on number 32, Tiana Hall.
I'm going to tell you what, Daniel, when we get an updated roster, I can't wait to give number 2 credit. Because this young lady is playing ball, and I would say your name more often if I knew it.
Another near turnover there as they're able to recover, and that's what you talk about when you talk about senior leadership as Khadijah Gibson. She's gotten a couple of steals and saved a turnover right there. Now kicking it over to the wing. The shot from the corner, no good off the back of the rim. A little bit too strong. But the Yellow Jackets, once again, pushing the ball up the floor.
Right back up court.
But again, there's Khadijah Gibson, and she really does a lot of the dirty work for this Pumas
almost
team.
a backcourt. And there it is.
There it is, yep. And you know, with the new backcourt violation rule, you don't have to be established in the front court in order to go backcourt. You only need 2 points, not the full 3, to come across that line. So your finger, your hand, and your foot, you don't need both to be there and to go back. So that's a confusing new update to the rules that just happened this year that I guess a lot of the players are still adjusting to a little bit.
Yeah, and it seems as if she knew the rules. She struggled to get that pass off, unable to save it. Candace Ross going to be on the inbounds.
Yep.
Looks like we got.
Looks like a little huddle. There's some confusion at the scorer's table.
Yeah, at the scorer's table.
Yeah, I think the scoreboard went out here at the stadium, and there's no indication as to when they're going to be able to get it back on. They're trying to now. Yeah, a little technical difficulties here.
That's called somebody kicking the plug.
There you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, enroll in the Verizon Share the Network program, and you and every person you refer to Verizon can get up to $50 a piece. So everyone wins. Earn up to $600 in rewards a year. Earn reward cards good at hundreds of top-name retailers where American Express cards are welcome. It's a win-win situation. Your friend gets the entertainment, power, and reliability of the network, and you both get rewarded. The Verizon Share the Network program. Enroll today at sharethenetwork.com/7. It's right now 9-6 Gwynn Park. We're having a scoreboard malfunction, but while we're waiting, we're going to kick it over to Damon Gibson, who's got the principal at Gwynn Park right there with him. Damon, what do you got?
Thanks, guys. I'm standing here with the principal of Gwynn Park High School, Miss Tracy Miller. How's it going tonight, Tracy? Talk about the success of Gwynn Park and getting to this championship game.
Well, our players have worked extremely hard. They have a fantastic coach, and not only with their athletic ability, but they also have academic standards, and that's what makes me most proud, that they demonstrate high academic standards, good sportsmanship, and then also, of course, athletic ability. I'm very proud of them.
Talk about what goes into the decision-making process of picking a high school basketball coach for your girls.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Talk about the decision-making process that went into picking a coach for your high school girls.
We want a coach that, number one, has the foundation of what really a student-athlete was all about. That they understand that, yes, we want them to play very well, but we also want them to be a student first. So asking for high academic standards, a high GPA, making sure that schoolwork is important, that's first and foremost, that they understand that comes first. Then we could teach any player the basics and the foundations, the fundamentals of basketball. Anybody can be taught that, but you have to have a good character, sportsmanlike behavior, you have to be coachable, and you have to have the right attitude. So if you put all that together, you have a well-rounded athlete.
Back over to you guys.
She talked about, Chad, was making sure that the academics were on par with the athletics, and that's obviously something that is very effective here in Prince George's County and something that a lot of these coaches and schools really, truly care about.
Wise and Gwynn Park fans are getting ready to go at it, but there's an official poll. The Pumas have the best cheer in the county.
Oh, wow. I didn't know there was an official poll, but
yeah, I did it. I did the official poll myself.
They're getting their money's worth right now as Gwynn Park is kind of coming at them with this one here at Wise. And I was talking to Wise about how did they swing getting a county championship game played at home, but apparently it's played here at home every year. If they're in it, that just happens to be the luck of the draw.
Right, all county championship games are played here at the Wise Gymnasium, a.k.a. Comcast Center Junior. Magnificent gymnasium here. One of the best in the state.
Yep, it's beautiful. It really is.
Now back to the action.
As we're ready to get back underway here.
Little Cece's back in.
Yeah. Yep, but the ball is into the rock, and Khadijah Gibson, as she's been playing really well, doing a lot of the dirty work today for the Pumas.
Almost a steal.
Little Cece is able to kick it over into the corner. And the three-pointer is knocked down, and that's number 24, Alikwa Brooks, who's able to knock that shot down. But right back at you come Gwynn Park, and man, do they get the ball down the floor. They get from point A to point B so fast as the steal is taken away again by Brooks. She goes in for the layup, no good, but the rebound is gathered and shot up, no good again. And here's Brooks going back up. Still no call as the ball is now finally taken by the smallest player on the court, and here we go.
Out of bounds.
Sorry about that, Daniel. I had to take a pause to join in on the game action. Catch that one.
As long as you saved us from getting hit, as Tanisha Cardwell has checked in, and she's playing the point right now for Gwynn Park. She's the one who actually gathered that rebound. Her and her sister Tashina, both soccer stars at Gwynn Park, that are now playing on the basketball court, adding to their athleticism.
Look at Alikwa Brooks. She just sets up and delivers a beautiful shot. That one off the mark, but got the shot and the steal last possession.
Yep, as unable to get it to go was number 22, the sister, Tashina Cardwell.
And now you see the Pumas back in their rhythm. Look at the pass.
Beautiful reverse lay-in by Candace Ross.
And we talked about them withstanding the initial energy that the Gwynn Park Yellow Jackets brought to the game. Look at the team, 20-0 in league play, haven't lost since December, don't plan on losing tonight despite what their coach said.
I was going to say, I tell you what's kind of funny. I'm over here looking over at Walter Clark on the sidelines, and he's yelling and getting his girls into the game after telling us that this game wasn't as critical to his team's success this season. But I tell you what, now he's pressing. He's changed his strategy. He told us before the game he wouldn't press. He's up into the game, and, well, the music's playing, and I think coach is dancing.
Yeah, fattening frogs for snakes.
There you go.
That's what they're doing.
Alternate possession to Gwynn Park.
Looks like the jump ball, and it's going to go back over to the Yellow Jackets, so they'll take it out underneath of their own basket.
Now, Michael Strother said that Gwynn Park's plan is to run, but running at this point, I don't know if that's necessarily effective for them. They may want to slow down and get into a half-court offense because it looks as if the Wise Pumas can run better than they can.
Well, so far, that's what we've seen, but we've also seen a lot of jump shots by the Wise Pumas that we haven't necessarily seen been knocked down by Gwynn Park. Right on cue, though, is number 22, Tashina Cardwell, and that's one of the Cardwell sisters knocking down the long jumper.
And did you see her look over at you when you said that? She hit that jumper, looked right over at you. I said, it wasn't me, baby. I pointed to you.
The nice pull-up jumper, no good, a little bit too strong by Gibson, and it's going to go over to Gwynn Park. So it's 12-11. The Yellow Jackets clinging to that 1-point lead here early as we're winding down towards the end of the first quarter.
I know Gwynn Park wants to run, but you got 34 seconds left. I'd try to hold that ball for a last possession.
And you picked up the quick foul. And we haven't heard a lot of whistles in that first quarter. That's only the second team foul called on Wise, and just none have been called so far on Gwynn Park.
And the only thing you can want as a coach is consistency. If they're going to call it tight, if they're going to call it loose, just keep consistency the whole game because the players will adjust. And they've been calling this one loose. They've been letting things go.
Absolutely. And, you know, we've heard some of the fans scream about some calls, but you know what? You're right. It's been even on both sides. Referees doing a fantastic job. There's a three-pointer from the corner. No good off the front of the rim, but the rebound is bounced around and finally picked up by Cozy, and Cozy throws it up ahead, and the shot is blocked, as that was number 24, Brooks, who tried to go up for the shot and got it swatted away by one of the smallest players on the court, Chad.
Sheena Cardwell, goodness gracious. Take a look right here. Absolutely not. Now, she got somebody.
But you know what? The body is part of the ball in this game.
Yes.
As Brooks tries the lane, puts up the one-handed shot in the lane, no good. Rebound tipped around and finally laid back in. And that is number 44, Sierra Lee, putting it back in. And now the pressure really starting to get to Gwynn Park.
And pressure coming from Wise.
Half-court shot no good, so Wise takes the 1-point lead there at the end of the first quarter, 13-12. As back and forth first quarter. We're going to take a quick break here, but we'll be right back with a lot more action here at Wise. The nice lay-in to take us away. Verizon Fios 1. Welcome back to Henry A. Wise, where the county championship games are underway, and we're here in the first quarter. These first quarter key plays of the game are brought to you by Watch ESPN. It's the ESPN networks live on your smartphone, tablet, and computer. Go to www.verizon.com/Fios TV online for details. As we're watching some of the highlights in the first half there, that beautiful reverse lay-in there was a huge play by Candace Ross. But here we are again, and another drive, and they're aggressively driving. It looks like we get the quick call to start this half. Well, before these free throws, we're going to toss it over to Damon Gibson. He's got something for us on the sideline. And Damon, what do we got?
Thanks, guys. Coming out of that first quarter timeout, Coach Strother talked heavily about moving the ball up the court,